Welcome back to Under Oath. I'm an attorney, Jeff Kaufman.
Yes.
Sitting next to me, like usual, is James John, my friend, my fellow comedian.
Yes.
I've been practicing law about 30 years, and I have seen the worst.
I can imagine, brother.
I've dealt with the worst. I've seen the worst. Emotionally, I've gone through every roller coaster I can imagine with law. I've seen having to take all the exams and do everything. I wish I could talk to people about that.
Okay.
But everyone only sees the commercial, or they see this other guy. Oh, he's great. Why is he great? What has he done that was so great for you? Oh, well, he's on this radio show. And I realized in my first 8 years, I was on a very popular radio show.
Yeah, you were.
And that didn't make me a great lawyer.
No.
And people should not have hired me because I'm on a specific radio show.
That's not the reason.
They should hire you because they like you and believe in you, not because I'm on a certain show. And I was on that show with 3 or 4 other attorneys.
Yeah, you were.
And I realized when people couldn't make a difference or see a difference between me and them, that I was failing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't letting people know who I was.
No.
And I wasn't actually who I was either. And we've had this discussion.
You know what? I would agree with that, man.
And I used to tell you, I said, man, I don't like who I am on the show. And I've had to kill your show once.
Yes.
I was
remember.
you when we were doing Real Laughs, I had to walk away from Real Laughs because I wasn't the guy I wanted to be.
Yes.
And every time I finish a show, I have to ask myself that question.
Am I being me?
Am I being me, or am I being this weird caricature of me? Now, am I being stand-up, Jeff? When I'm on Real Laughs? Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very rarely am I attorney Jeff on that show.
No.
And when people go, "Are you referring to yourself in the third person?" No.
No.
These are just different characters.
Just different.
You know, when you're on the radio,
Yes.
you are who you are.
Yes.
Now, what's strange is like after a show, that's probably the closest to who I am
I would say.
because I'm burnt.
Yes.
I'm not, hey,
No.
it's funny, Jeff.
No.
Normally, I'm the most honest I'll ever be is right after a show when you're talking to me because there's nothing left. There's no entertainment factor left. There's no concern.
No
it's
pressure.
just who you are.
That's right. All the jobs I do have, I get to be myself.
Yeah.
You and I just sitting here laughing and having a good time. That's what we do.
Yeah.
It's natural. It's not forced. That's why it works.
And you get a weird interpret. A lot of people don't know this studio is in my office.
Yeah, it is. Yes, man. So you can literally walk out of your other office into the studio and go right back to work.
It's so crazy that we actually have a full studio.
You do.
I mean, who gets to do this?
Nobody.
I have attorneys come in and they go, "Well, I see your little podcast." I'm going, dude, we're
full-blown studio.
Dude, we're simulcast on 4 different channels.
Yes.
And yes, you see the reels and you might hear the podcast or you go on YouTube, but this is a broadcast show too.
Yeah.
And when they come in and sit down in the chair, and sometimes I just talk to them in the chairs and they feel really weird about it. I go, we're not on.
We're not on. It's okay.
It's cool.
Because they're in lawyer mode. Like, well,
I'd like to talk about,
it's okay. Be
We're
yourself.
good, man.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got?
I got a good legally screwed. This is a weird one. I'm going to warn everybody right now.
Vietnamese coffee.
Trigger warning. All right. My ex-girlfriend is using my daughter's photo to promote OnlyFans.
God, you didn't even have to finish that sentence.
I know. I felt creepy reading it. I need a towel because I'm dirty.
Gross.
All right, let me explain. My ex-girlfriend is posting in Facebook groups to promote her OnlyFans while using a profile picture that includes my 5-year-old daughter. And I'm worried about her image being tied to explicit content and whether I have any legal way to force it down to protect my daughter.
Okay.
So it's a picture of her and
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. As a human being.
Oh my God.
Bleh.
Bleh. Yes.
But as an attorney, the first thing I say is, all right, you've given me an idea. What are the exact elements that we're talking about here? Okay. She's got a Facebook profile picture, which is your profile picture on Facebook.
Yes.
And people put their family in it and do it all the time. Her advertising for it is her talking about it in a post. In the profile picture, it could be her and her dog, her and her family.
Yes.
You know, the intention, and this is going to be her argument, no, this is just my Facebook profile. This has nothing to do with OnlyFans.
But
okay, as a parent, one of my duties is to keep my kids safe.
Yes.
In a situation where I can endanger them, very rarely did I include my daughter in my Facebook and my social media pages growing up.
And that's by design.
Now she's 20, but very rarely did I do it.
Mhm.
Maybe 1 out of 2,000 times.
Mhm.
Now my son Jacob, I've decided that because he is a face of autism, not the face, he's a face of autism.
A big face, yes.
That I believe he can do great things for the world.
And he has.
And
let's be honest, he has.
He's helped families.
Yes.
He's helped people understand autism.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said, I'm not going to be embarrassed by my son.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need to protect him in the same way I might need to protect my other child,
Mm-hmm.
because there's less of a sexual element to autism than this is my daughter in her dance outfit or something like
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
And yes, some people might be into that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm divorced,
Mm-hmm.
here is an option. This is an option you can do if your ex or the person you have child support with or whatever, or custody issues or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you had a court look into it. You can always bring it in front of the court and say, this is detrimental to the child.
Gotcha.
And that doesn't mean your mother's can't be an OnlyFans model. That means that you can include your child
Likeness.
and anything that would put her in danger.
Yes.
And OnlyFans, it's a way to make money.
Yes.
There's no difference between strippers and exotic dancers
Mm-hmm.
and adult industry people. Now let's get over one thing.
Okay.
Morality is determined by the community you're in.
Mm-hmm.
OnlyFans might be okay in a certain location.
Mm-hmm.
In a certain conservative location, it might be considered gross.
Taboo and gross.
That's why every state determines their own morality.
Mm-hmm.
Certain levels, we allow the federal government to step in and go, no, this should apply to our whole country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a judge in a custody thing goes, listen, this is dangerous. I don't believe you should be exposing your child to this or put your child in any form of advertising that could advertise your nude photos. She goes, oh, I don't do nude photos. I just talk about sex. Because OnlyFans isn't about nudity.
It can be bikini.
It can be a lot of things.
It can be a lot of stuff.
It can be feet.
Feet. Yes.
But we do know that it is
adult-centered.
It's adult-centered.
Yes.
And it can be gross. It could be offensive. But everything I just said depends on the person viewing it.
That's right.
And the morality of the person.
Mm-hmm. And morality and legal are two different things.
But I will tell you this. Now, this potentially could get me into some trouble in the sense that you won't get what I'm saying. Child trafficking, child pornography. It is a huge problem. It is the biggest problem we have in the world right now. And the only reason why you're nodding your head and going, we got bigger problems than this, is because nobody talks about it.
We don't talk about it. We don't.
They find hundreds of kids. The FBI catches hundreds of kids who are being sexually trafficked. And the news media doesn't cover it.
Mm-mm.
You know why? I don't. I'd like to believe it's because they think people are too sensitive. I'd be horrified to think that they're protecting a certain group of very wealthy people. Because there is no reason in the world you find one kid, much less hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
And that isn't the biggest story in the world. So that we're clear. Our big cases, a Trump case, Carmelo Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
name some of the big cases, Casey Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
Zimmerman,
Mm-hmm.
one kid dies. Thousands of kids get molested
Great point.
and you don't know about it?
Great point.
I don't know how many OnlyFans account exist. And don't be afraid of just the OnlyFans. OnlyFans is kind of like Green Berets in comparison to like Delta Force.
Mm-hmm.
You never hear anything about Delta Force.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about Green Berets all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's the lower level.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that exists on the dark web. And when I say dark web, you're going, oh, Jeff, that sounds like a conspiracy. No,
It's real.
it exists.
Yeah.
You can buy anything on it. You can do anything on it. You could buy pictures of kids, everything else. These pornography pictures are all stored somewhere, and they're not sitting on AOL's old servers.
No.
It's painful that exists, and we need to pay attention to it. So next time you hear a story about it and nobody's carrying it, post it on your page. Do what you need to do. Anytime you put a kid in this position, and mom,
Ex-girlfriend,
guy,
yeah,
father,
yeah,
you put your kids anywhere near this, you put a target on them. Because there are skeevy people, and not just the one dude. Thousands of these skeevy guys catering to this gross industry.
Correct.
So if she's doing it, I don't do this kind of work, but I would send her a letter. I would do that personally for my own firm and say, Mom, please don't make this go to court. Don't do this to your daughter. I understand you have money issues, and this is the way you make your money. But don't include her in your stuff because you're endangering your child.
Absolutely.
And I think a judge would understand it, no matter where that judge was coming from. He would say, pull the picture of your kid.
Come on.
Now, if your kid's 18, that's an adult.
That's an adult.
But outside of that, if your kid's under 18, don't include them in your stuff. And that includes some of your advertising too sometimes. If your kid's in a bathing suit, don't include them.
Oh my God, no.
And it happens all the time. I see parents do that. Baby photos of them in the tub.
The bathtub. Yeah.
And guess what? You can get arrested for that.
Yes.
So don't screw around. Just don't include them.
And a lot of times, and I'm going to give people grace, they don't realize you can't put that image out there because there's sick people out there.
Yeah. And they'll take that picture and they'll AI the hell out of it.
Yes, they will.
So be careful. Yes, you can go after your ex. My advice is, send her a letter first or message her and say, listen, I don't have a problem with you doing this.
Sure,
but do me a favor. Could you not use the profile picture with our daughter in it?
Yes.
Our daughter, don't say my daughter, say our daughter in it, because there are a lot of bad people out there.
Yes.
And I'm not judging you, whatever you want to do for a living, that's, I support, but try not to include our daughter in on that one.
Yes.
You have to understand, there are just too many bad people in the world who could hurt her because of it. Don't make it because you're offended and you don't want your daughter. This is to protect her, not to protect your feelings. Sitting with my partner, Craig Lind.
How you doing, folks?
Every time we do an event, people are like, where's Craig?
Were they asking for me?
They were. And they go, I saw the show the other day, and you made this comment about Craig going into the Vietnamese coffee place, and that he thought sushi was a sexual position. And I was like, did I say that?
Well, you didn't say that to me.
No,
you must have said that on another segment.
I was talking to Mel.
No.
And we were talking about the Vietnamese coffee, and I was laughing. I'm going, yeah, Craig thinks sushi.
I go in there every time.
I know.
I like the guy.
He does. But see, what Craig doesn't realize, the guy speaks no English.
That's not true.
Yeah.
He speaks some tiny amount of English.
What does he
He
ask?
understands.
What does he ask you?
One or two.
Yeah. Oh, he speaks in finger. Yeah. We have
Well, but you say
one
two,
coffee
so
too.
I think eventually he gets it.
Yeah. Well, I just looked at Spirit Airlines, just laid off a ridiculous amount of people because they're burning in and they're trying to figure out how to keep them alive and everything else like that. Well, their unions have just sued them because of the WARN Act, the federal act that says that you have to give, if you're laying off a ridiculous amount of employees and you have a lot of employees, that you have to give them 60 days notice.
Oh.
Yeah. But there are exceptions, and the exceptions are financial position.
What if you didn't know 60 days ago that you were, my goodness, you could have an airplane crash and all of a sudden your business model is turned completely upside down.
Known or should have known.
Yeah.
You and I both know what known means. Known doesn't actually mean anything. Known could be as simple as, hey, you could tell by the projections, and that's what's hard. You're going, hey, what if we have a good month? Will that save us? Now, there's two different kinds of layoffs. They're the ones to appease the shareholders, and they're the ones that we're broke.
Okay.
And I think we're broke
I'll
one.
I'll grant you that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the we're broke because Spirit Airlines is basically out of business. I don't think they're flying.
Well, what is the point of suing a out of business airline? Do they not
assets?
Do they have anything?
Assets, debts.
All that stuff is going to be going first to the
pennies on the dollar.
Secured shareholders. They don't own any of their equipment outright, do they?
If they were smart, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But then again, these companies try to evaluate themselves higher. So
do we know if they lease their aircraft from another
I don't know.
airline?
I'm not that smart.
Oh.
No, I didn't do that much research. Somebody handed me a piece of paper and said the WARN Act and everything else. And I'm sitting here going, okay, what do I know about the WARN Act?
I'm diving too deep. Because I don't know. That's why I'm.
What it requires them to do normally in a situation where they could have known beforehand, like when Microsoft dumps a bunch of employees or Disney dumps a bunch of employees, that they have to take care of them for like 2 months.
But okay, so let's say I'm a business and I just decide I'm not going to do the WARN Act because I don't want my stock prices to like shatter. So I don't do it, and then I just lay off 35%, 45% of my employees.
I could be responsible.
For what?
But I have to give them 60-day notice.
What if I don't do that though? What's the penalty? So what? What do you assume me?
I have to pay them, and plus I can get the fine.
Oh.
Yeah. Double down.
Oh, how do they have to get paid their salary
for 60 days?
Oh, well, that's something.
Now
60 days time, 35,000 employees.
That's a lot of moolah.
Who's running that? Oh, we should get into that.
Okay, you want the math on that? Well, take about $6,000. Let's say it's five times 35,000 times 2.
5 times 35,000 times 2.
Here, we'll give you a second to do that.
Hold on, let me do the math.
We'll take a short break. We'll play some elevator music for you.
Would be $350 million.
You sure? They can't afford it. You can't charge somebody $3 to fly from Orlando to California and make that money back.
Yeah, I'm not getting on that airplane.
I've been on it. It's not bad.
No, I mean the $3 flight. Yeah, if you're too cheap. Actually, Jeff, what's the floor for you? Like you're booking, right?
Right.
And you want to go. I know you go to New York and Las Vegas quite a bit.
Yeah.
So let's say you're trying to find a Las Vegas flight. At what point do you go, no, that's not enough. I need to pay more than that just for my own sense of security.
I have certain airlines I fly that I'm pretty comfortable with. Like I love Southwest. I fly Southwest all the time. Because of all the flying and because of the credit cards and everything else like that, I get on the plane early, I get my seats, I'm able to book at basic price and get my seat wherever I want.
So an airline you never heard of
Frontier and Spirit.
$100.
Hold on. Frontier and Spirit were always sketchy because they would just not fly.
They just cancel the flight?
Like I was in Vegas. They go, can't fly, wins. I was like, what do you mean wins? Wins? And they're going, yeah, we can't fly. Southwest never got canceled because of wins.
Huh.
And I don't like particularly flying some of the upper airlines because the seats are smaller sometimes. And they're not as organized for some reason. Southwest, when people complain about Southwest, they're going, well, I don't like being part of the cavalcade. You're not anymore. All the seats are assigned. You're in and off the plane. So I have no problem. And Southwest is my favorite airline.
So what's your no-go though?
My no-go?
Yeah.
My no-go became Spirit and Frontier because they had let me down too many times. And I will fly these when I have to. Now, when I have to fly in, when I do, even though I'm practicing law, I do stand up all over the country. And some of these places that I have to go to, like I went to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Escanaba. Not a major airport in Escanaba.
Hold on, let me get this straight. So you spent probably about $3,500 to get to a spot where you earned $100 for a stand up.
That $500 or $1,000, it doesn't quite cover the flight
stipend.
What I'll tell you but fate.
But you got your experience. I mean, that's part of
to be able to work at a high end casino or do something in front of like 500 to 800 people, and we laugh now because when I do a deposition or I do something else, I could care less. I am locked in. I know my facial. I know the looks on my face. I know I'm talking. I don't get aggravated because, when you're out there in front of 500 people, yelling at you, it's easy to take on one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see it a lot differently now. And I think it definitely pays dividends. And people always ask me all the time, so you're a stand-up and you're an attorney? I said, it's actually the same damn job. It really is. Because
I kind of tell stories, check and check.
Yeah.
I challenge other people's stories, check and check.
I take crap from the other side, check. Judges and juries can get a little weird. So you never know what you're going to get.
Can get a little weird.
I mean, you and I both did. We did when we tried a case in Tennessee, and halfway through, we realized the closing wasn't working. For the audience was just not, I mean, the jury was just not into it. And I personally felt that they were, and I very rarely say this because I won't say this, but I was absolutely positive this was the most racist jury I was ever in front of. These were some white people, and our client was black. And that jury didn't even care. I didn't think they cared for 2 seconds.
We had a black guy on the jury.
I don't think he cared.
Oh,
you and I both know
goodness.
that having a black man on the jury is not the same.
That guy carried his Bible with him every day. I noticed
even worse.
What?
Worst. People who carry the Bible with them, they'll apologize on Sunday, but they'll screw up all week.
That's not true, Jeff.
You and I, we realized when we first started our practice.
What did we realize?
Oh, remember the pro bono work I did for the church because Matt wanted me to for the church school? And when they screwed up, they filed the bar complaint against me?
That was a dance studio. That was a friend of his that he knew from church. It wasn't for the church.
Oh, she was real churchy.
She was a church lady.
She was real churchy.
She was a church lady.
And out there, the ones I'm talking about. The ones who are in the choir and they're all sleeping with each other. Yeah. See, that's the one thing about God forgiving you once a week. Instead of like going, hey,
do you know?
Let me be a decent person. No, I'm not decent. I'm
Christians-
only decent on Sundays.
Most Christians acknowledge that they themselves are sinners. Are you aware of this?
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
They
Isn't
do.
that great.
They do.
Hey, we did what we did because we're built that way. F that. You know what? I love when somebody isn't able to go somewhere and get forgiven for it.
What do you mean?
If I knew I could get away with all my crazy crap, as long as on Sunday I showed up, what'd Jeff do? Well, he burned down, killed a couple of people, but on Sunday, he said he was sorry.
It doesn't work exactly like that.
You know what that is? That's like an apology a judge forces me to do in court. When he goes, Mr. Kaufman,
that's where I think you're mistaken.
I'm sorry.
I think if you do the forced apology and you're not sincere, I don't think it counts. I think the people who are fooling themselves thinking, I can just act however I want during the week and then on Sunday go apologize for it and now I'm forgiven.
Okay.
I don't think that most people act that way.
But that check's only paid at the end.
What are you talking about?
Well,
What
at
check?
the end. You only
The
have
end,
to
the
pay
end?
that check at the end.
The end,
When
like
God
when
goes,
you die?
when God goes, you really didn't mean it, did you? No, I did. Through their whole lives, they think they're okay. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, you and I can
That's
agree
true.
that's BS.
That is true. There are a lot of people who probably have fooled themselves into thinking
Yes.
that they're going to make it. The Bible even talks about that. There's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth. The people who
Oh my
thought
God.
that they were.
Did you just say wailing and gnashing of teeth?
Yeah.
Are you dovetailing those pages in the Bible? Is that what you're doing now? Is that what it's called?
I
Dovetail?
I pay attention. I pay attention.
You pay attention?
I pay attention.
You know what happened? This MF became touched death over the last couple of years. So now he's like my mom. My mom born again.
Is she?
Yeah.
Your mom's born again
Born again
Christian?
Jew? No.
Oh, born again Jew.
She's finally
Is
going,
that born?
I went to temple. They start speaking a lot of Hebrew when the Reaper starts coming. And I think
Something
that's
about getting near the end of your life makes you focus on what's more important.
It's like, uh-oh. I think that's what happens, the uh-oh moment. Uh-oh. I ain't sure.
You ever had an uh-oh moment? Like, I need to get right.
No, I've had near-death moments.
Yeah.
And where I've asked God for help. But I didn't go, hey, if you help me out here, we're going to be twice as good.
I saw a movie with Burt Reynolds, and I don't forget the name of the movie, but he was way out in the ocean. He was drowned. He's like, "Oh God, please just help me make it to the shore. I'll give 70% of whatever I make." And then as he gets closer and closer to the shore, he keeps repeating it, but the number keeps going down and down. Like I said, God, 50% of everything I make. And then by the time he's at the shore, like I said, God, 10%, and he's on the sand.
Now, Spirit Airlines going out of business. I don't know if they're covered under the Warrant Act because financial problems, they basically went bankrupt.
There's two questions there. Can you make the argument that you should have known you were going bankrupt because of your sales and you knew that Congress was not going to approve of, I don't know, these different flights or whatever? Can you make the argument that, no, you did know, it's not a sudden business thing? But even if you're successful with that argument, if the company doesn't have any money, what are you going to do with the judgment?
And these people don't have first liens. I guarantee the
Oh,
airports.
they're
everything-
unsecured. Yeah, lawsuit people, folks, you guys, if you win a lawsuit, you are an unsecured creditor. And what that means is you are the redheaded stepchild of all of the people who are owed money.
You're back in the line.
The last in line. Well, you and all the other unsecured
When Spider-Man
creditors.
comes out, you're in the worst seats.
Yeah. The one right on the screen looking up like this.
Yeah, you staring directly up at the screen, kind of go, is that Spider-Man? But yeah, I think in this situation, it's going to be difficult because there are so many creditors out there. And yes, once you get a judgment, you get in line, but they won't have that judgment for years.
Oh, yeah. And everybody who's secured before you, they're ahead of you in line.
Oh, and here's something else.
And they get all, the secured guys get all of what they're owed before you get any.
And here's something else. Let's say you do file a lawsuit, and this is what a lot of people don't realize. The minute they file bankruptcy,
It's over.
your case is put on hold.
Hold.
And I can't tell you how many times
Like
that
throw away the key hold.
Craig and I have had some fantastic cases, and we're really trying to help people out. And then a company went bankrupt. And we're like,
That's a 2-year pause.
So now it's a 2-year pause. And then they go, okay, well, there's a guy out there who's going to break the money up.
The
And
trustee?
The trustee comes out there, and then he gets paid a lot, and nobody else gets paid anything. Today we have actor, comedian, writer, Johnny Pemberton. Johnny, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound great.
Oh, man, I have loved your career, everything from Superstore to Fallout to your own stand-up comedy. It's a fun run for you, man.
Thank you. It's been a fun run. I hope it continues.
Now you got the new movie coming out. It's Mermaid. I don't want to think like Breaking Bad and Splash together, but give me a little lowdown on it.
That's actually a great comparison. No one's ever said that before. I do think that's a good sales pitch, honestly. People say it's sort of like Splash meets Weekend at Bernie's. I've heard The Shape of Water meets Lars and the Real Girl. So all those kind of movies mixed in there. It's definitely a very unique movie. There's nothing else like it.
Now, when this comes to you, or are you writing it too, where you go, yeah, I wrote this. This is fun, or does it just come into your lap?
This is something that was written by Tyler Cornack. He's the director as well. He has had some previous movies I was a big fan of. His first movie called Butt Boy.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie. It's an indie movie, and I loved his movie a lot. And we became friends because just randomly I met him, and he was like, I have this part for you. I think you'd be great for. And it turns out it was real. And everything snowballed from there. And it was a great experience.
Now, where is this shot? Is it shot in Florida, or is it shot somewhere else?
It was shot in Florida, in St. Petersburg on St. Pete Beach, which is next to Tampa. Beautiful area.
Yeah, we're out of Orlando, so yeah, it's
okay, right? Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, at least that was good. It wasn't in the middle of summer, right?
It was pretty hot. Yeah, it was in September into October, so it was pretty damn hot. But it could be worse.
Now, the hard thing for me is I also write comic books. I do stand up, but when I do something and it doesn't come out for a year, and then I have to promote it a year later, and I'm on to 5, 6, 7 different things. I mean, is it hard for you to remember? Wait a minute, what am I working on now?
It's impossible. I can barely remember any of that stuff. You're deeply outside of the moment that it happened. So just gotta recall it the best I can. I'm trying.
Now, you've done some great roles. I mean, from Bo from Superstore, Thaddeus, and Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you just play so many diverse characters. I mean, do you find it like going, yeah, I got this, drama, comedy, I'm well-rounded?
Yeah, I mean, I really like playing different characters. I love diving into a character. Anything to take me away from myself, I'm happy to do.
I was just watching Fallout again, and I was watching the scene where you're in the factory doing the ghoul thing. And
Right.
it's so funny because you're so likable and you're playing this weird kind of character. And I don't know what it is about you, but no matter what you do, hero or villain, we like you.
That's good. I think that's a good thing. I have played some roles that I'm not so likable, but those aren't as popular, thank God.
Now, your background is in stand-up. What you're doing now is light years away from being on the road, in the crappy hotels and doing everything else. You know, do you ever pull back from that and go, hey, I don't care how bad the day is, it's not going to be worse than this?
Sometimes, yeah, but I mean, the stand up can be. I still do a lot of performing. I've got a lot of dates coming up. They're both are great and both are terrible at times. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's some of that stuff where I've never done it and I don't want to ever do it. But also, you know, I've had times on set that are miserable as well. So I tend not to think about it too much. I don't want to do a lot of comparison. Otherwise, I get in the weeds with that.
Now, when
It's
you're
so easy
talking
to
about
do that.
stand-up, are we talking about doing, you know, smaller shows like Improvs and Funny Bones, or like, you know, like centers?
I mean, it just depends, I guess. It depends on where they book me. I'm doing Comedy on State coming up here in Madison, Wisconsin in July 9th through the 11th. And yeah, it just depends.
Now, as a stand-up comedian, after you finish a set, people always ask you how truthful that moment was because they find something they like about it. And
Right.
I always try to tell them, listen, we take a little something and then we just blow the hell out of it. You know, do you find that, or you go, nope, I'm going right down the line?
It all depends. There's a lot of stuff I tell that's 100% true. I have a one-man show I just taped. It's going to be my first special coming out, and that's all fully true. But it's also different than a lot of stuff I do. Otherwise, some stuff I do is clearly totally not true at all. It's all just like a story or a character or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, but also my stand-up journey is very different than a lot of people.
Well, do me a favor, give me a little taste of that. How is it different than like a lot of other people's?
Well, I mean, I guess I just like to do a lot of characters and a lot of I do a lot of musical things and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I really like a lot of people who just stand there and talk, but and it's not really for me.
A lot of people say the difference between a comic and a comedian is a comic can do anybody's material, while a comedian has to do things that are directly tailored to themselves. Does that feel close to you?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I heard like John Lovitz. I mean, it's an old thing, but I remember him saying something like, I can't remember which is which, comic or comedian, but one person says funny things and one person says things funny.
Yeah.
So I like to say things funny as opposed to saying funny things.
Now, I was watching your special the other day, the Minnesota reggae special you did. And
How did you saw it?
yeah,
How did you see
it's
it?
on YouTube.
Ooh, I don't think so. I
Well,
mean, you saw
I can
a
tell
clip
you,
of it?
it was a long clip. It was about a 5-minute clip. And I was like going, wow, I
Weird.
love this.
Interesting. Okay, because that must just be a clip from one of the tapings I did, because that's the special I just taped. I'm so curious what that might have been, but because it's definitely not the special, but
It felt more like a stage. It felt like you were practicing. So I don't know if somebody put something out there.
Weird,
Because
yeah.
it didn't have that feeling like it was shot from like a 3-camera thing and you know it was moving around. But it was
Interesting.
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I'm a storyteller on stage also, so I appreciated exactly what you were doing. And I was going,
Yeah.
you know, I love when people come to you after a set and they go, you know, I found something into it. I have that same problem. Instead of going, you know, that was really funny, dude. You know, which happens all the time. But it's kind of great when people come to you about what you said and they live in
Yeah.
it.
It's nice to tell stories as opposed to just placating drunks.
It's, you know, talking about placating drunks. I realize the longer I do this, the quicker I am to slap somebody when they step out of line. I used to be a little timid about it, but now it's so quick and it feels cheap, you know, because the jokes feel
Yeah.
cheap. But I mean, at the same time, I think you have to, you know, keep your room.
Yeah, I think so. Also, it's about just cultivating the fans. If somebody, I don't want to do shows to people who don't want to be there. So, you know, it's their loss, not mine.
Now, there was a book called, it was about comedians on the road, and it talked about the worst stories, the worst places, and people having to sleep at the bar and everything else like that. You know, what do you remember as your worst room without mentioning the name? Because you might go back someday, but...
I won't go back. If I have a bad experience, I'm not going back. I think the worst experience I ever had was in somewhere in Ohio. I think it was like a Funny Bone or something like that. And these women had, this was years ago. I did this tour with a friend of mine that somehow was supposed to be cross-promoted from two different companies, but each company thought the other one was promoting it, and neither of them did. So it was these two massive companies, and they just forgot to promote the shows at all. They just totally forgot to. So they gave people free tickets last minute. There are these ladies in the front row who were just there to get drunk, and I had to threaten to throw a chair at them so they would shut up. And even then, oh my God, just such spiteful pieces of trash. They're probably drowning in a ditch somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
It happens.
If they're even alive. I doubt they're alive anymore.
I had this woman in front of the row once trying it on her phone. I said, "Could you put the phone down?" She goes, "I'm making a booty call." I was like, "All right, well, let's just hear it." I don't know what to say.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's amazing how just how trashy people can be.
Now, you go from stand up, you're traveling, you're doing this thing, and when did you realize, when you're going, okay, the acting thing, I really want to do this. I really want to get into it, but it's hard. It's a hard journey to bust your ass into this stuff. Do you ever feel comfortable, or you're going, okay, I'm in the right direction. I think this career is going the way I want it to go. Where the anxiety drops a little bit.
Anxiety for what exactly?
Well, the future about going, because, it's comedy, acting, it's a vagabond existence where the next thing you kill what you eat, and it's, the amount of stress that actors and comedians go through. I mean,
right.
Are you at a point now where you're like, okay, I feel good about this? Or is it every morning you wake up and go, all right, yelling at your agent, did we book this? Did we book this?
I don't know. I feel like it'll always be there. And also, it's never been there too. I guess I just don't really care as much as some people about that, because I feel like nothing really bad can happen to me that hasn't already happened. So living in the gravy already, has been since I first started. Just doing it all, just getting able to do this at all is so wonderful. So I just really enjoy doing it. So I'm going to do it.
God, I love that. I mean, it's so hard to not feel like, the next day is going to be rough. And I guess, you've had some medical experiences, things like that, where you're going, Hey, listen, I'm a lot higher than I should ever be.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah. It's all gravy. Now,
you write a lot of your own material. Do you have a desire next? You go, well, I'm going to write my own movie. I'm going to put this script together, and I'm going to produce this thing, and I'm going to get on this.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Can we get a taste of it, or is it
I feel like if you talk about something like that, it has a tendency to kind of vaporize and go into the wind. So I don't like to talk about stuff until it's a real thing.
So we're still a little superstitious, even though life has been great. Okay.
I'll be superstitious till the day I die about that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's just a good practice. You shouldn't discuss things openly unless they are already done.
All right. I like to talk to guys who have achieved a certain level of success, and they feel likable. Best celebrity moment. For example, you got to meet this actor, you got to meet your hero or something else like that, and then you have to play cool when you meet the person.
It was probably meeting Teresa Strasser from While You Were Out, when I was the first year I lived in LA, and that was really cool to meet someone. This is the first person I'd seen on TV ever, and that's about. I don't think anyone has that story, because we're talking about a person who was on a TV show I used to watch in the summer in Florida because it was so hot, couldn't go outside. Yep. But yeah, I just remember meeting Teresa Strasser once and being like, oh my God, that's Teresa Strasser from While You Were Out, the TLC home makeover show.
That happens to me every once in a while when I see somebody. I go, oh, I love them. I love them in the scene. I love them in the movie. Now, obviously you have your own fan base, and people come up to you and they say, oh, how great they are. They love you in certain things. Is it uncomfortable, or does it feel like a compliment? What is it? I mean, how do you internalize it where you go, okay, don't let this get to my head?
It's great. I love it. I love when people are fans. It's wonderful. Sometimes it's awkward because it's like this parasocial relationship, and they don't know. They feel really uncomfortable. I can tell that they're very nervous, which I feel bad that they're nervous, but also, that's there's nothing I can do about that. So I had recently met someone who got a tattoo of me on their leg. That was pretty interesting to see. Otherwise, I enjoy it. It's always nice to have fans. It's just it's such a great thing that people come out to shows and that they want to have anything to do with it or anything at all. It's great.
I saw this clip you do as this character Wayne at a convention.
Oh, right, yeah.
And this dude is in front of you trying to help people to sell. And you get in and you're like, "Hey, how do I get a sweatshirt? How do I get
Oh, that guy.
Oh my God, that was awesome. I was dying because I do conventions.
Oh man, that guy he was on a different planet, man. He did not understand. That guy was what we call FOS.
Yeah. It was funny because he was trying to teach his people how to sell and get into it. And he didn't realize that you were doing a bit, and he was completely lost in it. And how many times do you get to do that? How does that even happen where you're going, okay, I'm going to do this today?
Well, I think it was in Indianapolis, maybe. I don't remember now, but I saw that this trade show was happening, and I thought, oh, well, I got nothing to do. I'll go over there and in character, and I just walk around and do it. And, sometimes I get recognized and it kind of blows the bid up, but otherwise, most people, they're just in their own world and they don't know. They're used to guys who are obsessed with machinery. Most people who operate big machines are used to talking to young men who are also obsessed with machinery. So it's not that unusual.
It felt like you were like a modern day Borat walking around in character, hoping somebody didn't recognize you, and they were all buying into it. And how long do you think, like if you tried to do that now, do you think you'd get away with it?
It's harder, but I mean, like I said, I think a lot of these guys, they don't really watch movies or TV, so they're kind of on the spectrum dudes who are into their lane specifically, so they probably wouldn't recognize me. And even if they did, it's like I just move on. So
now I'm gonna get into the geek stuff because I'm a comic book writer and I have a lot of people who listen to my stuff. And I guess now, have you had the opportunity to do a Comic-Con because you did Fallout?
Yeah, I did Comic-Con for Son of Zorn many years ago. I think that was gosh, we had our billboards all over the trolleys and everything. Yep. It was a really big promotional push for that show. I did Comic-Con back then, and I haven't done it since, but looking forward to doing it in the future. Really am.
You got a lot of product to put out there, so I think you won't have a problem getting in.
Yeah, the Fallout fans are ravenous.
Oof, yeah. Now, you don't have the makeup is serious. But it's not it could be worse because you actually are you're kind of being turned into a ghoul. You're not fully ghoul with the nose broken off and everything. But how long does that take?
It takes about 3 hours.
Jeez.
Which is actually the longest of any of the characters. It's longer than Walton. It's longer than it takes a long time.
How does yours take longer? Or I guess his pieces are just, a lot, I guess more together.
Yeah, it just does because it's weird. The stuff that looks more subtle actually tends to take longer than the stuff that's more severe.
All right. Well, hey, I can't. I've loved everything you've been in. Why don't you tell us how we'll be able to see Mermaid?
You can watch it on Fandango or Apple or Amazon Prime. You can rent it or buy it on any of those services. You can stream it right from the comfort of your own home or theater. And
let's give some social media so people can start following you on that too.
Yeah, you can just find my name. It's Johnny Pemberton. I'm on all the platforms. And if you want tickets to shows, there's links in all the social media, but also you can go to my website, johnnypemberton.dog.
Well, I can't wait to see you. Hopefully you come through Orlando. I'd love to see your work.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be there in the fall.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, Johnny, take care and have a good day.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.